right, check 1 2. Test 1 2. This is our first recording with the Sigma FP utilizing the new Sigma 17 to 40 f1.8 art lens, which I am so excited about. Obviously, I don't have to tell you what a staple and a standard in the industry the 18 to 35 has always been. I've had 5 of them at different points. I have 2 of them at this point. Still love and use them. Even use them for photography. And there's something so special about that lens. But I think the 17 to 40 is going to quickly become, maybe not the replacement for it, but definitely the next reiteration. And I certainly am very impressed with the build quality, everything down to the packaging, the boxing, the way that they present it. I suppose the initial presentation, you get your warranty card in here in the box. We made a short the other day, just a short unboxing. I will say, if I recall, the last new 18 to 35, let me get this out of the way. The last 18 to 35 that I purchased new, most of which I think I bought 3 of them pre-owned and 2 of them new. Could have sworn they came with like a better pouch than this. This seems more like just like a windbreaker nylon, but whatever. But the overall presentation, the box, great, terrific, fantastic. But all that matters is the image. Now this is on the Sigma FP, as I stated, in a color profile called powder blue. And if you haven't caught any of our videos, this is one of my favorite color profiles on the Sigma FP. This is untouched, no post-processing, no editing, no color grading, nothing added on top. Also nothing done in camera beforehand. Now, what I can see from my monitor, it does look like the autofocus is hunting quite a bit. I do have this set to autofocus, but I did not go into my autofocus settings to do a specific zone, so it's just a general autofocus, and I believe the more I move around, the more it hunts, is what I'm seeing, because I always keep focus peaking on my monitors because we use mostly manual focus lenses. So this is just my initial impression, powder blue. Okay, so I wanted to see what this image would look like. We were in a very lit room, but still one stop underexposed. We are set to f1.8, but I am in crop mode currently. So let's see, I'm going to make some changes, just kind of hang out for the ride. Let's see what we do. All right, now the changes that I made here, I got out of crop mode because, number one, I have seen a lot of people asking, well, what happens if you put a crop sensor, APS-C sensor lens on a full-frame camera? Now, in the case of the Sigma FP, you can see vignetting around all the corners. Now, I can zoom out even more than this, but from where those black lines start in all the corners, that's it. That is the frame that you're going to get here. If I zoom out any more than this, it's just black. It enlarges all those black areas. The corners just become more black, if that makes sense. So what I wanted to do was just get to a point where you see the vignetting. And so you can see that in all 4 of the corners. But we are in full frame mode. We're now out of crop mode on the Sigma FP. And what I did do was I changed the autofocus to a single point around my face. It is on face detect. I also changed it to face detect. So I don't know how well that's going to do because, to be honest with you, I have always used manual focus on my Sigma FP. But I do have single point, face detect. But I think that if we get rid of face detect, just keep it at single point and make the point right here, I'm sure it will do a whole lot better. But I wanted to see what the face detect would do first. It's probably I can still see in my assist that it's hunting quite a bit. We're still in powder blue, and again, no adjustments made. Let's see what happens. Let me make some changes. Let me get rid of some ambient light here. I wanted to make things bright at first, but let's adjust the lighting, adjust the focus, and like I said, hang out for the ride. All right, now what I did here was I changed this to single point autofocus right here. So we just have a box basically where my head is. I enlarged the box just to encompass the space of my head. I cut out all other lighting and kept it off crop mode because I actually like the way this looks. I like that it's highlighting the image in the center and just kind of darkening everything out around me because, you know, this is a certain look. I have a single key light on me with a 24 by 37 inch softbox to be exact, one full arm's length away, kind of directed at the microphone so that it's kind of cutting by my face. A little bit of a shadow, a little bit of a light Rembrandt lighting, but not quite a definitive Rembrandt, if you will. Now, right now, we're all blackened out. I like this, but I have no idea what it's going to look like. I'm using the 5-inch monitor. I'm using the Portkeys PT5 Mark II right now because our larger monitors are already on other cameras in use, and I don't want to take them apart. So let's add a little lighting in the background here. Let's see what that looks like. So we've got some lights on there, and I did change the color profile. We are now in one of my other favorite profiles on the Sigma FP, which is neutral. So this is the neutral color profile. I'm not going to grade these. I want you to see what they actually look like straight out of camera. So this is neutral. Now let's add some more lighting. All right, so now we've got an image in the center. So if you're a content creator, this is probably what you'd be looking at. An image in the center. You've got some background lighting. You're talking display. I've got single point on my face, so right now I can display something here without the focus being taken away or distracted from my face. This here is my new to me photography camera for 2025, the Lumix S1 Mark I. This is what I chose to go with for my photography, I'd say 80% of the time here in 2025. Latter end of 2025, approaching 2026, and I still utilize my Fujifilm X-H1 with the Viltrox 75mm Pro for a ton of work. And I'm going to continue doing that because I love that combination. Absolutely love that combination. What do you think of this image? How do you like this image? This is a color profile that I will commonly use because, again, Sigma does not offer an official log profile. But next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the off profile is, which we've made a video on before. Now, if I want to add a LUT on top or go for a specific look, or maybe if it's a client job that, you know, they're requesting us to kind of mimic a certain look, I'll use off. By the way, I didn't adjust sharpness or anything in camera. So up until now, everything in camera has been left alone. I haven't touched anything. But this is off. What was I saying before that? Off is what I would use for a job if we need to flatten it out, treat it like a log, and gear it more towards a specified look based on the client, I guess. So here we go. If you're a content creator, we also have a ton of headspace above me. You know, you wouldn't want that much headspace. But again, we're just kind of giving you a general idea of the Sigma FP with the Sigma 17-40 f1.8. And there's a ton of things I love about this lens, by the way, which I'll get into in the lens review. Okay, so now we are in the off mode. And this is a little more how you would frame your content. We've got a lot of lighting. We've got a key light. We've got some lights in the background. We are autofocus single point around here, right around my face. And the color profile now is off. So this is officially the closest thing you're going to get to a log profile with the Sigma FP. I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think about all of these different combinations and everything in the comment section. Let's start an actual conversation about it. I would love to hear your feedback and your input. And just for reference point for audio, we are utilizing the GOXL Go podcast mic by TC Helicon, which I think is a great mic, especially for the money. You can get these for $100, fully kitted out. Well, I say that without the arm. The arm is separate, but with the mic, this metal wind mesh, this is the windscreen. It's just like a mesh metal that you can adjust this metal mesh screen to be closer or further away from the microphone diaphragm. But I do love these mics. I'm also not going to post-process this audio. This is the audio directly from the GOXL Go. And we're using the Ceramonic Mix Mic XLR adapter. I've been really giving this thing a run for its money. I got the whole kit. They're very hard to find. Otherwise, I would have linked something where you could buy it in the video we made about this a while ago, but they're virtually impossible to find the whole kit. It does offer 2 individual XLR inputs with individual control, phantom, power, everything. It's actually a great little unit. As you can hear, so far the preamps have been pretty low noise. There have been a couple microphones that we've used with this. I'll have to check my notes. It did actually cause a little more noise, but for this combination here, we can keep the noise floor pretty low. Now for this image, we are just about 2 stops underexposed. 4800 Kelvin for our white balance. Obviously, everything is being shot in 24 frames per second, and obviously a 180-degree angle, because that is another thing I love about the Sigma FP. It does give you the option for angle rather than just shutter speed. So many things I love about the Sigma FP. As I always say, it's one of the most underrated and underappreciated and undervalued cameras out there. But let's try a couple more combinations. Let me get rid of these lights and see what's going on. So now we have a slightly darker image. Now we are fully 2 full stops underexposed. Let's get rid of these lights behind me. I really wanted to keep everything as basic as possible so that we could see what this combination offers. The Sigma FP with the Sigma 17-40 art lens. I was hoping, I'm still hoping, I haven't even seen any of this in playback. I'm still hoping this is going to be a killer combination for an upcoming project specifically, but also for generalized use beyond that. Now staying in crop mode, this is the cinema color profile on the Sigma FP. I did change it to auto white balance. I wanted to see what the camera would assign as the white balance. Being in cinema mode with a single key light here. They are the GOXL SL60W. And I love them to death. They've been great lights, just completely, totally reliable. We got a kit of 3 of them, tons of different soft boxes for them, and they've been awesome. And you can buy them dirt cheap right now, guys. The GOXL SL60W is a great starting point for a key light, for photography, constant light, whatever. So, something for you to think about. But again, this is the cinema picture profile. There's one more look I want to show you because it's the last look that I do use quite frequently with our Sigma FP. Alright friends, and this is my absolute favorite color profile. Sorry, got a call coming in, hold on. This is my absolute favorite color profile on the Sigma FP, which is monochrome. I will tell you, we are 2.5 stops underexposed. And I have the autofocus set to this area here at my face, so hopefully it is holding focus. I have no idea if it is or not. Let's see. Let's go backwards actually with monochrome. I just like playing with the lighting in the background. And again, a lot of this is done because if you're an entry-level, new, beginner content creator, I want you to see what the possibilities are like. And I think the Sigma FP is a brilliant, brilliant camera. But I think there are so many people that really don't even understand or value its capabilities, because that gets overshadowed by the fact that it can shoot raw DNG, 12-bit, all this fancy stuff that may not be needed or necessary for many of you. But the simple stuff also makes the Sigma FP a brilliant camera. So this is monochrome, and I guess that's really all I have to say, guys. So this is the Sigma FP with the Sigma 17-40 Art f1.8 lens. There are some of my favorite color profiles in some of my favorite configurations. No in-camera adjustments, nothing. Friends, I want to thank you guys for watching another video here at The Growing Pro. I'm Adam, and I'll see you in the next one.